we're at CES, so there's certainly even more conversation here around it than others, but the metaverse and Web3 technologies. Seeing a moment over the past year of a lot of experimentation by different brands. Where are we as an industry in terms of that journey and applying some of those Web3 technologies or the metaverse into our world?
As soon as I got to Vegas, I don't think I've had a single conversation that did not revolve around the metaverse. Like I thought we were going to be talking about it with literally every person I've met here, and every conversation has been around metaverse, and it's really intriguing. I'm really excited about it. I think about sprinkles in this space and what we can do. And I think a lot of brands are. And I think the challenge with this being so buzzy is how to be strategic about it. And what is it really doing for your consumer? What value are we truly bringing with this experience? And how are we using that to grow the business at the same time? And so it still feels new. And it feels like a new frontier, but people are dabbling, and I think we're very close. It's very exciting. And based on the conversations I've had the last couple of days, I've learned a lot more about the metaverse. So who knows where this will go?
I think every brand is really trying to figure out what is their authentic opportunity in the metaverse. I think for organizations like Kellogg, where we're consumer packaged goods. So it's like, how do we create relevance and authentic experiences in the metaverse that make sense, that don't feel forced, right? And so we're constantly experimenting in this space. We've got a Fruit Loops world in Roblox, for example. But I think that there's a lot of opportunities with partnerships through lifestyle, entertainment, and even with our brands and characters that we have at Kellogg. So I think the jury's sort of still out on like how fast this world is going to mature and the opportunities that it will present. But I think as long as brands are really leaning in and they're experimenting early, then they're kind of starting to get a leg up on others who will be more late adopters.
Web3 is happening. And I think for me in my role today, that's the thing that is not going to be critical for next quarter's results. But what I do really believe is that we as brand builders and brand marketers need to engage with people around their passions, where they are engaging in those passions, and can we show up in an unobtrusive, value-added way? So I absolutely think that is coming. And I think that right now we need to continue to experiment to make sure that we're understanding where the lay of the land is. But I think, some of the scale of these communities, quite frankly, is just not there yet. But I have no doubt it's coming. And so then the big question is going to be, when do you want to jump in with 2 feet? And I don't know how I'm going to answer that question, but I think it's something that we'll be really closely watching.
I mean, to be very transparent, I think we're still trying to figure it out, right? Like, what is a meaningful consumer use of it, right? That then we as a brand can insert ourselves in a meaningful way. And that's what we're trying to understand, right? Like, we've also dabbed in, a little bit of the Robloxy type of, experiences, which is a great way to kind of, get in there and see what it works. But I feel like there could be a larger use, especially as it relates to community building in a way that is like people agnostic, and you can, operate in a space that feels a little bit more connected. But I don't think we figured out exactly where it goes. And so its ability to stay sticky is still unknown to me.
I think there's been a lot of really, flashy projects, or people doing NFT drops or PFP projects, or going into the metaverse sandbox or what have you. And I think that's all great. I think that's all experimentation. I still think we're fairly far off from that being a reality that the sort of average day-to-day person can sort of even understand, let alone want to engage in. And so I think at IMAX, what we're trying to do, we're really bullish on the technology of blockchain and how that can augment our core business, how that can augment the ways we augment the customer experience, and ultimately how that maybe unlocks opportunities for us that were never possible, before that sort of emerged. So I think for us, it's a very thoughtful and sort of strategic approach, and starting to kind of play some small bets and tiptoe. But I think from a mass adoption, should everyone be there, I'm sure people have their arguments, but I think we're going to be playing in the real world for a lot longer than people think we are.
I have a wildly unpopular view here. I lump metaverse with NFTs and crypto, It all feels like a scam to me right now. And I know that's unpopular. And I know some people are probably rolling their eyes when they see this, but I just don't feel like the metaverse has landed properly for brands yet. Yes, some brands will go there and have major success, but you have companies carving out territory. You don't have cross-platform solutions. We're not there yet in my mind. The metaverse needs time to mature before I will want to enter there.